Hello friends, welcome to my desk. Before we begin, I should say that this modular desk system is from IKEA and I opted for the 2-meter long Linman desktop with 2 IKEA Alex engineer or architect style drawers. The left drawer system houses all my tech and photography equipment, and my right drawer system houses all of my stationery and art supplies. On my table, I have various houseplants situated on both sides of the desk, and at the center of my desk, I keep some frequently used supplies and stationery, and my Google Home Mini, and the notebooks and journals that I'm currently using. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, I have tons of tabletop space, but I wanted to keep my tabletop as clutter-free as I can to keep a clean and minimal look. I usually keep my laptop charging in the middle of my desk, and to the right of my laptop, I have my Olive Traveler's notebook, my Leuchtturm bullet journal, and my passport-size black Midori Traveler's notebook. I also keep my Blue Yeti microphone on my table to act as a bookend for those notebooks. Besides those notebooks, I have 2 Muji acrylic pen holders. The cylindrical holder keeps all my fountain pens, and my smaller rectangular holder keeps all my Traveler's Company brass pens. To the left of my laptop and art print are my glasses cleaning solution and another Muji 3-compartment acrylic pen holder system. The first compartment on the left contains my frequently used watercolor brushes and decorative scissors, and in the second compartment are my markers and brush tip pens. The last compartment contains my pencils and metallic pens, and beside this container are more plants, coasters, and a concrete tray with some of my glasses and my everyday essentials like my wallet, keys, and etc. The first level of my stationery and art drawer contains all things related to painting. I have a magic eraser and this reusable Swedish paper towel to help clean messes and spills. I also have this plastic watercolor palette in addition to my main watercolor palette that is filled with Shinhan watercolors. I also have a waterproof pouch with all my Pentel Aquash brush pens, and at the bottom of all that are various watercolor paper notebooks and paper pads. I also have this Muji case filled with watercolor pencil crayons, as well as 2 travel watercolor palettes. My black palette contains my Geckoso paints, and my white palette contains all my Winsor & Newton paints. I have some more watercolor brushes and some calligraphy inks and a large blue pencil case containing all of my tube watercolor paints that I use to refill my existing palettes. I also have a few acrylic paints in there that I used for a copycat episode, and that pretty much does it for the first level of this drawer. The second level of my stationery and art drawer contains all the washi tapes that I currently own. And as you can see, my collection is quite large, but this is actually the smallest it has ever been because I downsized this drawer quite a bit. I actually haven't purchased any new washi tapes in over a year and a half, so I think I'm doing pretty well on that end, but I still have quite a bit. I have 2 wooden boxes. These boxes are from Muji, and I've had these since I lived in Korea. I liked them so much that I ended up bringing them with me when I moved back to Vancouver, and I'm also repurposing this watch storage system, and I cut off the top and use the bottom as a washi tape holder. And as you can see, I still have some room to grow, but I want to continue not buying any more washi tapes because all of these washi tapes are currently my favorites and they are all being used, so that's the best part about it, and I wish that my collection continues to be at a manageable and usable level. The third level of my art and stationery drawer contains some stamping and fountain pen supplies. On the side of the drawer are 2 large fountain pen inks. One is from Noodlers and the other one is from Pilot Iroshizuku. I also keep my other fountain pen paraphernalia in this bright red, orange waterproof Herschel pouch. This contains smaller ink bottles and ink cartridges. I also have a clear plastic organizer to keep all my stamping materials organized. At the back compartment of this organizer, I keep my repurposed Kaweco fountain pen tins, which are currently filled with calligraphy nibs and stamping waxes. I also have my Cavallini paper stamp set in the same compartment. This stamp set is airmail themed, and it was one of my first big stationery purchases back in 2015. Behind the plastic organizer are some of my TWSBI fountain pen boxes and my large Sumi ink that I also use for calligraphy. The next compartment contains my wooden stamps. Most of these wooden stamps have been purchased in Korea or Japan back when I was living there in 2015. The next compartment beside that contains my ink dabbing tools from Tim Holtz, my wax seals, my mini ink pads, which are stackable by the way, my date stamp, and even more wooden stamps. My favorite one is that sumo wrestler guy. The smaller compartment at the front houses my larger ink pads and my acrylic blocks for my acrylic stamps. The last compartment houses my Japanese stamps, my Korean name stamp, as well as my coveted Traveler's Factory brass and wooden stamps. Let's move on to the next drawer. Drawer level 4 is where organization starts to break down. I have a paper box organization system in this drawer, and in the first compartment I have my 2 ephemera and sticker organization systems. The plastic accordion organizer is from my friend Claire, and this houses almost all of my ephemera and small paper bits from Pen Pals. The craft paper envelope notebook is from Midori, and I use this to house my vintage postage stamps. The box compartment behind this contains all my decorative post-its, my journaling cards, and my tearaway calendars from past years. The smaller box at the front of the drawer contains all my various adhesives, and the box behind that contains my Dymo label tapes, my pencil protectors, and my pencil refills for my brass pencil. The largest compartment at the back houses my 2 Dymo label makers, my collection of decorative clips, my stapler, more decorative scissors, my rotary blade, and my custom stamping kit. Phew, that was quite a drawer. And here we are at the last level of my stationery and art supply drawer. In this 5th drawer, I have some mail from friends that I want to use in a journaling video, a bunch of white paint and chalk markers which I use for some sign calligraphy. Below that is a pencil case filled with Sharpies that I've owned since high school, and below that are my precious Copic markers. I also have some envelope makers and a paper cutter, and some scrap paper, my silhouette cutting mat, and various scrapbook paper pads that I received as gifts for my birthday. That is it for my stationery and art supply drawer. Let's move on to the tech drawer. My tech and camera drawer is pretty much the bane of my existence because it is so messy, and it is the opposite of my art and stationery drawer. As you can see, the first level is filled with wires and cords that are very tangled and messy. I also have my favorite incense in there and a bag full of receipts in that canvas bag. The second level is a little bit better. I keep my Wacom tablet there, my headphones, my Kindle, and this cool tripod that I use when I don't want to film with my larger camera. I use this tripod with my iPhone actually. The third level is filled with more camera equipment, and this is a little bit more organized, and I keep my various flashes, my other cameras, my smaller cameras, some filters, and other camera equipment. I also have some games there. I have my Monopoly Deal and Dutch Blitz, which is super fun. The fourth level contains my film equipment, or at least my film cameras, and I have my Polaroid there, I have my various film cameras, I have some film stocks there, some used film, some unused film, and then some actual photographs that I have saved and hoarded throughout the years. The last drawer contains some corrugated cardboard and some packaging stuff just in case I ever want to get into Etsy, and I have my Big Bang light stick. And that pretty much does it for my tech and camera cupboard. Although I have a desk that is filled with art supplies, stationery, and tech things, I also have a bookshelf parallel to my desk that has more storage. I keep some of my paper products that are too big there, as well as other storage items that keep a lot of creative crafting supplies there that I don't really use on the daily, but I like having them there because they are just an arm's reach from the desk. I also have these storage boxes that store a lot of my childhood memories and other memorabilia, and then I have these 2 wooden crates. The first crate holds all of my finished traveler's notebook inserts, and then my other crate holds all of my actual leather traveler's notebooks. The bottom stuff just has some work and old school books. And that pretty much does it for this desk tour. I hope you enjoyed this video and took a few things away from it. Overall, I am very happy with this setup, and I love how minimal and clean the tabletop is. It has really allowed me to become more productive and creative in this space. There's just something about not seeing clutter and junk all around that just allows you to work more efficiently and to work creatively. Hopefully I will continue to keep this setup clean and minimal, and maybe I can update you all in the future. That's it, folks. Please leave a comment and a like if you have any questions or concerns, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.